Lights out, we're underway. It's Motorsport Republica podcast.
Boys, we're back for our highly anticipated MotoGP review show. Tom, how are we?
Yes, I'm very good. I've been looking forward to this one. Yeah. And I love going back through the races. And it's just amazing the stuff you forget.
I know. I actually, like, trying to prep for this, realised how stupid I am and how much I forget things. Now, it's only just Tom and I's voices you're going to hear today. Unfortunately, Daniel can't make it in. But you get to listen to us dribble about some MotoGP.
Give the people what they want.
Yep. So what's on the, what are we doing first?
Well, you know what? And I think we did this last year, I simply want to go through race by race. Just a quick summary, results, talk about our favourite moments over the year. That's going to be the aim of the game today.
Yeah. Nice.
More of a informative pod tonight. And I bet you people at home are like, oh my god, I forgot that happened.
Yeah.
I forgot this happened. And then obviously, we'll go through Fraud Vinales taking the win at Coda, Jorge Martin taking the championship, and it's been one hell of a year for MotoGP.
On and off the track as well.
On and off the track.
Big news, for teams and rider announcements. It's nuts.
And different sprint results, race results, and then we'll go through that, I suppose.
100%. Yeah. Guys, make sure to jump on to motoheaven.com.au.
Yes.
Our amazing friends there. Gear up for Christmas. You can, if you do miss, like, obviously the shipping, you can get MotoHeaven gift cards as well, which is cool. Online gift cards. So suss them out. They're definitely one of our amazing friends of the pod.
Yes, they are. Get involved, guys. And they've got some great stuff and parts finders, all sorts of stuff. So get on board, jump on the website, use our link in the bio. Guys, as well, we just put a new Patreon app up, which was awesome. Had a lot of fun doing that. It was KDM's financial crisis.
Yeah.
So we had a really good in-depth look and a bit of a 10-point plan. So get involved with that, guys.
And how to fix KDM.
Bring them back. And just with Patreon, you get 20% off LA merch as well, and some uncut stuff on there. So, and also early access to... we've got a special guest. We're going to be uploading that shortly as well. Early access.
We've got a couple special guests.
Special guests. And guys, YouTube is huge for us. Please subscribe, like our vids, comment what you think, even if it's good or bad. Spotify, Apple Podcast. We love it. We love doing what we're doing.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. And it's going to be one hell of an off-season. It does not stop here.
Yeah.
It does not stop here.
It's going to be a massive, massive off-season. And thanks to everyone for the support for this year as well. We had our little Christmas shindig over the weekend, which is a big night. I would like to go on record as well, saying that was the last survivor of the night.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I called it quits pretty early. No, well, Curdy on with you as well. Curdy stayed out. So
no, Curdy went before us.
Oh, did
Not that far, but
Curdy pretty much picked up the waitress at the restaurant, which was unbelievable as well.
Tipped her $50.
Yep.
And okay, all right. We'll tell the listeners what happened. So we went to Mr. Miyagi. Amazing place.
Beautiful and great service as well.
Great service.
Chapel Street there.
Yep, in Chapel Street. And Curdy, the high roller, rolls over.
He banks the Motorsport Republica podcast. So he funds it.
Yeah. Rolls up the $50 note like he's about to do something naughty with it. Puts it in her hands. Whispers in her ear.
I know. Well, what he said, we don't know.
But all I know, she was gushing.
Yeah, there
was no whisper in the fucking ear.
It was.
We were stunned.
That was we were stunned, and we shouldn't be. He's a fucking superstar.
That's
so
true.
It was
stunned for her.
And what a man pumping. Yeah. That street was pumping.
Chapel Street was crazy
on Saturday. The Uber driver said it was the busiest night he's ever seen. The busiest night on the calendar. They say second Saturday before Christmas.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah, and we were out and out in the town, and that was good to celebrate. We've had one hell of a year, and we've worked fucking hard as well. So
it's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
And we really appreciate everyone's input and everyone listening and watching. Yep. It's great. Yeah. And I found out a reason why it was busy, and then because we couldn't get an Uber for everyone listening for fucking ages.
Yep.
Because Dom Dollar was on as well, and the Killers.
Wow, the Killers.
Yeah. So it's just a nightmare in Melbourne.
Yeah, nightmare in Melbourne. All right, let's start. The season opener, Qatar.
Yeah.
Remember that all those bloody months ago, James Shaw?
Bro, I don't even are you going to have to fill me in? I feel like I'm actually like a listener right now.
Well, the season opener returned to its traditional home in Qatar, James. Yeah. Okay, so that was a big thing. Jorge Martin took the early lead with a sprint race win, if you remember that. In the main race, the results were Pecco Bagnaia, which was quite a theme throughout the year. Jorge Martin winning the sprints, and then Bags coming in and just dominating on the Sunday. Brad Binder second.
Bro, I'm telling you, Qatar always throws up a weird result.
And Jorge Martin in third. Jorge Martin. I
didn't want to pull you up on that.
But yeah, he just eclipsed by the defending champion Bagnaia. So
Brad Binder in second is wild.
Yeah, I know, crazy. And look, those bikes look unbelievable under lights. At Qatar, and it is a great. And we just had the Formula Ones there a few weeks ago. It is an awesome track. You're right though. Always throws up a wacky result. The other thing, sometimes the year earlier bikes do really well there because they're still trying to develop the new bike. So
true.
It was one of those unusual results for KTM as well.
It does throw up a result. I think a couple of years ago when Pol Espargaro was racing for Repsol Honda, they had a bit of false sense of security. Yeah. Got a podium there.
That's right. Yes.
And I wonder, I guess as well, that shows, how much you have to develop during the season to stay in the game. Like maybe KTM was on a closer playing field in round one, but by the time Ducati kicked in, then bang.
The same thing with Aprilia. You just see them the in-season development of the bike just isn't there. And they struggle in those flyaway races at the end of the year. Now, I know they happen to be flyaway races and everyone blames that, but it's also development of the bike through the year and going to that last, 6 rounds of the year. So,
and, I don't doubt that these teams are not trying to develop, maybe not KTM because of a financial crisis, but they're obviously going in the wrong direction or they're just pulling the wrong strings.
Very true, very true. Yeah, but going back to Qatar, it's an amazing track. A lot of corners very similar.
And they normally test there the week before, so everyone's pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Yeah, and I remember a few years back they had testing and then 2 races there, so it was like
that's wild.
They didn't leave Qatar for like 3 weeks. So on we go to Portugal. Portugal, one of my favorite tracks. Boys don't agree with me on that one. It's a contentious issue.
I'm not a massive fan of it, which is like really unlike me because undulating. It should be an amazing track.
And Bastianini takes pole position out of nowhere. And in the main race, Jorge Martin...
Jorge again? What the fuck is going on with you?
Jorge Martin finishes first. Bastianini second. And Pedro Acosta third.
Second race.
That's when Marquez and Bagnaia took each other out at the end of that back straight there. That was a really interesting... And, an early turning point in the year. Gives Martin the upper hand. And takes the championship lead as well. And realistically, doesn't look back from there.
It showed as well Marquez is still quick. He was fighting with Bagnaia. Obviously, them two took each other out. But,
that was an interesting incident back then, wasn't it? Like
they weren't happy with each other.
No, and now they're going to be teammates next year. So.
And even back then, I was thinking, what... We had no idea what was going to happen.
I know.
Especially the whole Marquez situation. Now he's on, obviously, Ducati Gresini and going to factory Ducati. We're so used to him now.
Yes.
Even the second round in, it was weird.
Yep.
And you could tell he was still trying to get used to that bike.
Yeah, he was. And then we thought, wow, is he going to come good? Because I had him going well early in the season.
I think we all did.
Well, I had him, as we'll talk about our predictions later in the show. Shout out, Pedro Acosta becomes the youngest rider ever to achieve a podium in the MotoGP era.
Amazing.
He had a bit of a luckless end to the year as well, so we'll see what he can do next year. But 19 years and 304 days.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Kind of feels like we're doing the Brownlow right now for 1, 2, 3.
You like it?
Yeah, I like it.
You
It's
like
good.
it?
We should be in suits.
Well,
It's 40 degrees in here right now.
Yeah, it is 41 degrees.
We're sweating.
It is 41 degrees in here. So, and I'm actually surprised that I'm not absolutely drenched.
Even I'm sweating, and I fucking ran a marathon, Chevy, without sweat. That's the right words.
I'm gonna have the biggest swamp. What do they call it? Swamp
ass.
Yes, swamp ass.
You got a bit of a leaky butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder: we are proudly supported by the great team down at Moto Heaven. They are absolutely unbelievable to deal with, and if I were you guys, I'd definitely head over to their website.
Yes, you never pay full recommended retail price at Moto Heaven, and free delivery for any order over $100.
100%. And they've got the best, most usable website in the whole motorcycle industry. Dare I say the world. They got parts finders. You can chuck in any bike you want. If it's a old KX250 or an R1, you can find anything you want. Helmets, they got everything. Head to motoheaven.com.au where you will get everything that you need. That's a guarantee.
Do it. All right, boys. The most controversial win of the year. Nah, not controversial, but surprising win of the year. Maverick Vinales wins at COTA. What a very interesting race. Now, we're going to have to fill each other in on this one, Jim, because the podium was Maverick Vinales, Pedro Acosta second. This is where we thought, wow, this is building.
Yeah.
And Enea Bastianini third.
Wow. No Jorge Martin and no Bagnaia.
Yeah, so Martin and Bagnaia. So, yeah, I think Martin finished 5th or 6th, and did Bagnaia crash that round?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I should have that in front of us, but I don't. So
that's our podcast in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty certain he did.
Vinales had dominated that race. He had pole position, he had fastest lap, and he rated race win. Just an incredible feat. And that's why he's King Fraud.
Well, you know, there was murmurings of Fraud Vinales last year and the start of this year. And, you know, we really, you know, we didn't hype it up, but we were talking about it.
Yes, definitely.
And then Maverick Vinales goes out and has a sensational win and a sensational weekend. And everyone jumped. Didn't everyone? You and Daniel did?
I did. Yes, I had him winning the next race.
Well, there you go.
I had him winning the next race. Just to clarify, sorry, it was actually Jorge Martin finishing 4th and Bagnaia finishing 5th.
Okay, there you go.
So that's
nice.
I remember Bagnaia crashing last year in turn 2 at COTA. So I always
must have been that.
It always it always sort of sparks the memory.
So everyone jumped on his bandwagon and I stuck fat and I copped hate.
Yes.
A lot of hate for it, saying, nah, this is just what he does year in, year out.
Yep.
Bang, does nothing for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right, James Shaw. We're on to Jerez. Unbelievable battle between Bagnaia and Marquez.
And great great POV footage from the stands going into the stadium section of that race of Bagnaia and Marquez. Wow.
Now, what was unbelievable about this race is that battle between Bagnaia and Marquez, but also Martin crashing. Now, that sort of swung the championship the other way because Marquez came back through, nearly past Bagnaia, pretty much past him. Bagnaia just fought to the end and won that race and put him right back into the championship fight.
This is how stupid I am. I remember the pod after that race when Martin crashed.
Yep.
I said, nah, that's it. He's not going to win the title. Fucking in Jerez, I said that.
Yeah, I know.
He's not going to win the title. Like, he can't do it. Like, what a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Clickbait, but
isn't this becoming a theme? Marquez and Bagnaia, and it comes together again at the next round. So we're looking at La Francais.
What was our result, sorry, for Jerez?
I did say it already.
Oh, did you?
Bagnaia first, Marquez second, and Bezecchi third.
Oh, Bez third.
And I do apologise, James. I did forget the results on that one. So, yes.
Fraud Bez,
which was out of nowhere, but there was a lot of crashes in that race.
Yeah.
And he did fight through the field, and really the only thing he did all year, I think, from memory, which we will find out in coming minutes.
He hasn't done much, but what a track Jerez is. It's still my favourite on the calendar.
Isn't it funny? It is. It's just it's a fantastic track. It doesn't have one amazing...
It doesn't have like a corkscrew.
It doesn't have an amazing corner. It just all flows really nicely. And it goes in between the backside of the circuit after the back straight. Then it comes into that stadium section.
Wouldn't you say that's the best tracks? Like, look at Phillip Island. Would you say it has an amazing corner?
You're right. You're 100% right. Because we look at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, you say the Eau Rouge, Radion, amazing corners. But yeah, I mean, turn 12 at Phillip Island's probably... and turn 1's pretty amazing. But yeah, you got that at Jerez as well.
Jerez, that hard braking would be pretty crazy because that's a big hill they actually go down. It's bigger than you think. And then when they do those like fast lefts into the stadium section, and then they got the fast rights into the last sector, and then as we all know, it's one of our favourite corners is the last corner. So inviting. You have to throw it up the inside.
That's such a true point. And the other thing is with that track, it's the undulation.
Yeah.
That last corner is just there's no other last corner like it. It's just a weirdly shaped corner.
It's not a computer corner.
They've just gone like this. And yeah, that back straight, that second corner, There's so many crashes there.
Yeah, true.
So many front end washouts at the second corner.
And that's that actually dips down a little bit more than you actually think.
So off to the Circuit de Ducati circuit in Le Mans, France. Okay.
Yeah.
So again, we meet in the middle again. Jorge Martin comes up and wins the race, which was one of the most amazing performances in recent times. So Bagnaia hit the front earlier in the race, and then Martin sort of stalked him, passed him, went away, and then Marquez on the last lap passed Bagnaia going into that corner in that chicane in the back straight. So that was a really interesting race, and another mini little turn in the championship.
That's amazing from Jorge Martin to back up. I remember talking about that,
Yeah.
back up what he did the week before. Hey, Curdy, sorry, you ought to turn my headphones down just a tiny bit. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yep, that's better. Thanks. Thanks. I'm turning into you.
Yeah, I know, right? It's amazing.
France, one of the best Grand Prix
It's a great
apparently to go to.
It is that section of the year is just incredible. It really is. And the and as they flow through France, these big countries in Italy,
Big European countries.
I mean, I love the flyaways, but we just don't have except Australia, the history like they do back then.
I think that's why a lot of people love Jerez though, is because it's the first of those major European tracks, and it's always so exciting. And the racing's normally good. And the Moto 2, Moto 3, especially Moto 3 through Europe is always. But then I'm telling you, Portimao for me, I know it's ridiculous, just doesn't have that feeling.
Oh, I just love the undulation, and then them coming down that big sort of waterfall section.
It does, mate.
So cool.
It's amazing photos that they do there. Give you that.
Thanks, brah. All right. Hang on, I've lost my little spot here. Sorry, Ward. All right, we're off to Circuit de la Barcelona, Part 1.
Part 1, yeah. We didn't know that back then.
Now, raced from memory, we all have to admit that sprint race crash from Bagnaia. And that was just a massive turning point in the championship. He was leading the sprint from start to finish and crashed comfortably and crashed on the last lap. And I really don't remember someone by themselves leading a MotoGP race crashing on the last lap.
I don't think Martin's done it on the last lap.
On the last lap, like you think about all the times the pressure. Yes, be incidents, crashes against two, but no pressure. No pressure, which was pretty incredible.
Well, sprint races realistically for Pecco Bagnaia this year has been his kryptonite. In a way. He struggled for a long time.
It cost him the championship, 100%.
But then he ended up winning quite a few. He actually may have ended up winning more than Jorge
by the
Martin.
end of it. Yep.
But that start of the year, he had some real issues.
So, Aleix Spargo, notable pole position holder as well,
Yeah,
which
he's
is just
normally
funny.
good
He just
there.
loves that track.
Yeah.
So podium for the main race was Bagnaia. Again, common theme for the year, backed it up after
Had to.
Well, yeah, he had to do it. And Jorge Martin, traditionally.
Common theme.
Second.
I think this is when he really got his run of seconds.
Yep. And then Marc Marquez finishing third.
And then thinking, all right, he's quick again.
Isn't it funny?
This is the point where I think we thought, all right, the 24 is another level.
Yes, yeah. And it started to really separate those three guys.
Yeah.
It was like those three guys are going to win or finish on the podium every race.
Yeah.
And it pretty much was a common theme. Bastianini had a couple of podiums here and there, but realistically it was those three going to the end of the year.
And it was really only Marquez on the 23 that did anything.
All right, as we're getting later in the year, some more memories are popping up. So, Mugello.
Yeah, always a big one.
Mugello for me, with the big memory was the turning point in Jorge Martin's career, seeing all those Ducati guys celebrating, Bastianini passing him on the last corner of the last lap. And I think that's when he made his decision. And I think he said that publicly as well, that he made his decision where I want to go to a new factory because this is not right. So, podium Francesco Bagnaia, Nani Bastianini, and Jorge Martin, first, second, and third.
That's a great call you just said, and I don't know if it's understated because it was big news back then. But look, Davide Tardozzi has no ties of Pramac.
No,
so you can't yell at him for that.
No, you can't.
And GG's never that over the top as it is anyway.
No, it's quite a reserved character.
I can really see both sides of it. I really can, because realistically, all they want is Ducati to win.
Yeah.
I guess, but Tardozzi works for the factory team. Like, he is factory Ducati.
We'll get in this later, but we've said this all year. Ducati losing Jorge Martin is going to be massive for them, being so young.
So fast.
So young, so fast. And
but he must be, and I guess we'll talk about it later, but must be one of the most unlucky riders to do it.
I just hope Aprilia just give him something, some sort of winning machine.
They have to.
All right, off to one of our favourites, TT Circuit Assen. Famous track. Again, not a huge memory, a good memory from this race. It was nothing to write home about. I knew there was obviously a few incidents throughout the race, but
I don't think it was an amazing race, to be honest.
Yeah, Bagnaia first, Jorge Martin second.
Yeah, standard.
And then Nea Bastianini third. So, yeah, great track, unbelievable track.
This is when Marc Marquez was having, remember, there's heaps of aero problems.
That's right.
And then he was holding up people, and he was trying to let people pass. Remember how dangerous it was?
It was, yeah.
Because he had front tyre issues.
That was absolutely ridiculous. And that was
huge.
It was popping up on his dash that it was saying tyre pressure issues. So he let someone pass. I mean, that shouldn't be MotoGP. That's not MotoGP. That's not motor racing.
It's not MotoGP, and it's dangerous.
Dangerous. And it was dangerous. And that was,
It's almost, it's no rider's fault. You know, like
no, exactly.
How are you supposed to let people pass? How is that racing when you're supposed to let people pass to fix up your tyre issues?
But yeah, Bagnaia taking a perfect weekend that weekend, taking pole position, sprint race, and main race. Yeah. And he the margin is back to 18 points. So really hotting up here at the MCG. All right, off we go to Saxon Ring. Again, interesting race, and it was a bit of everything. And Bagnaia coming first, Marc Marquez second, Alex Marquez third.
Yeah, right.
So from memory,
I think
Martin initially dominated that weekend in Saxon Ring, pole position, winning the sprint, and then crashing.
Yeah.
On the second last lap of the main race.
Yeah.
So that's the memory we have of that race. And again, that's what the championship even got.
I swear I said the same thing. I'm like, he's not going to win the title.
We all said that. So it's, I just remember him crashing. It was in the first turn, and he just needed to hold it together. I remember him in the sand trap, and we all think season's over. That's it.
You just can't do that. But it's who would have thought what would happen, and then the mistakes. It's crazy. The mistakes that are being made these days, for me, always just seem like they're unforced errors.
Yeah, 100%. That's why you watch. That's why you're on the edge of your seat watching the race, because the bike can just go like that.
Yeah, they really are riding on the edge.
And
I think aero does bring you to that state.
Yep.
Where you have to ride it on the edge to then be competitive. So it's whoever can just find the line the best, which is interesting that Marc Marquez used to do that the best before aero. Yeah,
I think we all wanted deep down, probably except Daniel. We all wanted to see Martin win this year because it just shakes things up so beautifully.
Yeah.
And I remember him going into that last round at Barcelona thinking, you can't just stay on these bikes anymore. You can't just pot around. It's impossible. You got to ride them to their limit to get the most out of them and to get any kind of speed with his new aero package.
Well, we speak to Chris when he was racing MotoGP and like just testing bikes. If you're not within a second of like lap records or the race pace, tires don't work. You're not going to get any data.
No.
So then to even be faster than that again.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're a second of the lap slower through the race weekend, you're finishing last.
And that's probably why Juan Mir is crashing, because he probably can't. I wouldn't say ride. I'm not saying he can't ride to the bike's capabilities. I think he's riding over it, but the bike's just so terrible that he can't ride through it. He just lets go.
That's it.
And because he's just purposely stuck on the front. Is that enough?
All right, so we head to the Silverstone Grand Prix, 75th anniversary of the World Championship. Special retro-inspired liveries for all teams, which was very interesting.
It was one of the coolest things MotoGP's ever done.
Yes.
I love the liveries. Well, I look back now, when I first saw like the Rossi livery and stuff, I was so disappointed. I look back on it now, I'm like, it's still cool. It was all cool.
I just think they could have done a lot more with it.
Sponsors ruined it.
Sponsors ruined it, and that's commercial modern day sport.
But the Aprilia was awesome. The Honda was awesome. The Castrol Honda was awesome. The Yamaha was amazing. I love the Ducati concept besides the dumb Lenovo stuff.
Ooh.
What's that, Curdy? What bike's that?
Oh, okay. Let's move on.
MSR. But yeah, I loved it. And a great thing for MotoGP to do. They never normally do stuff like that. And then
we're going to get a couple of hot takes later about the liveries as well, which will be interesting.
Yeah, so it's good to see.
Bastianini took the win in both the sprint and Grand Prix races. I think I was away for this from memory. I think I was overseas.
Maybe overseas, were you? or Perth?
Perth, sorry, I was in Perth. So I have faded memories from this race. But yeah, Bastianini took the win in both the sprint and main race.
Yeah,
and Jorge Martin finishing second in both races.
Yeah, standard.
Then Bagnaia crashed out of the sprint and then finished third in the main race, allowing Martin to retake the championship lead.
It was really just tight the whole year round, wasn't it?
Yep. It was weird and it was seesawing because now we go on to the next race in in the Red Bull Ring. Bagnaia, sprint and race win, comes back. And it was just amazing. But again, Jorge Martin finishing second. And you know what? Probably harsh on Bastianini. He's really he's there or thereabouts been in all the European rounds. So
what's the 1, 2, 3? Sorry,
Bagnaia, Martin, and Bastianini. Yeah. So he took both race wins ahead of Martin again. So Martin was, and I think that from memory, those two races, it was just Bagnaia got out in front and Aero just spoiled both races.
Wasn't much going on. I always
find that first chicane. How shit is that first chicane?
Chicane's ruined the whole track. I always find sometimes like Austria for the Ducati riders is a bit of a barometer. Where everyone's at.
Yep.
Because it's such a Ducati track. You really have to be on it to win.
Shooting and throttle.
Yeah.
All right, we move on to Aragon.
Good track.
Great track and
big result.
Marc Marquez domination. So
the whole weekend.
He just was a step above, and I think there was reports of the track being super
filthy.
It was filthy and slippery.
They had rain like that whole week before. Right. I remember it was just dirty and dusty, and the bikes were covered in dirt and mud and crap.
That's true, and it was great to be back at Aragon. It's a great circuit, and it was really good to see that. And but yeah, Marc Marquez completed a perfect weekend. Pole position, sprint race win, fastest lap, first Ducati. First victory with Ducati, and 1,043 days since his last win, which is just crazy. He won in the Misano 2021. So, again, Martin took second place in both races to again leapfrog Bagnaia for the championship league. So, pretty incredible. And it was still pretty even then. But then we move on to
just on Marc Marquez though, just real quick. It just shows when everything is unsettled with everyone else.
Yeah, he loves low grip.
Yeah, and then everything's low grip. And it almost evens the bikes out a little bit, like the rain.
Yep.
And then he came in and just absolutely dominated, which could be a scary thought for 2025.
Very true. Now, we had an unusual sort of circumstances mid-year where we had two races at the same place. So, San Marino Grand Prix had it was a 2-week break between the two rounds.
Because Kazakhstan or one of them ones fell through.
Yeah, it flooded or something. No one cared about poor Kazakhstan. It was all about Valencia. No money went to...
Yeah, because the teams are there. That's right. And everyone's Spanish. Name one Kazakhstani rider / team.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. Marc Marquez back-to-back. I don't remember that, to be honest. So Marc Marquez won that first round at San Marino.
I remember that.
Bagnaia first and Bastianini again third. I mean, how many third places did this guy have? So pretty crazy.
2 in a row for Marquez. It was crazy.
Yeah, well, he took 2 consecutive Grand Prix victories.
Got booed on the podium, and Bagnaia was shushing the crowd.
He did. But then Martin won the sprint that race, so he was just getting some points and getting points. Just keep pushing. So, and so then that point in time, Martin extended the championship to 24 points.
Yeah.
Sort of getting to that race win.
Yeah, which is big.
Which is huge. It's sort of that mental game. So. And then obviously going to this is the end of the European leg. So the second round, Bastianini won. Jorge Martin second. And Marc Marquez third. And that's that famous scene where Bagnaia was chasing them down, looking really good, and then crashed in the back straight.
Yeah.
So pretty
wild,
pretty crazy. And then Jorge Martin finishing second.
It's the heat's got ya. The heat's got ya.
I think it's going to be Jorge for the rest of the night, okay?
Make it a t-shirt. Jorge Martin. The dude can't get a factory Ducati bike. He's a championship winner and you're still pronouncing his name wrong.
Fucking hula.
Just keep in mind it's 40 degrees here at Benzina.
Yeah, it's sweating.
Yeah. All right, so we move on to Mandalika.
So... Flyaways is definitely where you can either win or lose a championship.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. The Flyaways are it. And that's why Aprilia can't win a title.
So Mandalika, Jorge Martin comes out and wins the race. And He crashed in the sprint, Martin, and
Yeah.
on that second last corner. So he really backed that up, and that was very important. Probably the most important victory of his career and that year by a long way.
I remember the flyaway races, how tense they were. Because
So
we knew
tense.
it was just everyone knew this is it. It's coming down to the pointy ends.
Yeah, 100%. Pedro Acosta second.
Back.
So he popped back up
Yeah.
since the first round. So, and then Bagnaia coming in third. So again, not a huge amount of memories from that race. It was the first Grand Prix victory for Martin since France. So it was a long time between drinks for him.
He just racked up points, but
And a sprint win for Bagnaia.
Yeah.
Bagnaia went on the sprint, as we know, as we just touched on. So yeah, interesting race. Interesting seeing Pedro Acosta back up there. Just doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, going to a brand new track probably evens the playing field as well. Talk about going to a track where they haven't spent a lot of time at.
yeah, he's raced Moto 2 and stuff there.
True, good point.
You
No,
know,
what
but-
I'm saying is though, like for him, he's going to a track where everyone else has gone on the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So he's probably done the same amount of races there as a Bagnaia.
Ah, yeah, gotcha.
Where if you go to like Circuit de la Barcelona, you know, he's done double the amount of weekends there. So
And, you know, it's not like there's any other KTMs up there that whole year.
exactly
No
right.
podiums, it's just been him.
So now we saw a seesawing effect through the year. We saw Bagnaia having 2 shit rounds, then winning and having a perfect weekend. Then we saw just Jorge Martin consistent second. We get to Motegi. Motegi's that famous
rain.
The rain. So Bagnaia comes in, finishes first. Jorge Martin second. Marc Marquez third. This became the common theme for the end of the year, and this is when it sort of came predictable by the end, because that result was pretty much the same result going through to the end of the year. So it was a
Standard Japanese, though, like it rains every year. It's amazing. They got to move that. I don't know what they do, but they got to, it just rains. I don't remember a dry Japanese Grand Prix weekend.
So, James, have a guess of this, because I was surprised by this. At the end of Motegi, what was Jorge Martin's championship lead?
At the end of Motegi, I'll say 15 points.
10 points.
10 points.
10 points going to Phillip Island. I don't remember it being that close.
Yeah, that it rings a bell.
Okay. Unbelievable.
It rings a bell.
And then we go to Phillip Island, where we had just such an amazing time.
Yeah, massive week.
Massive week. I was deplorable on that Monday as podcast, as we all know. Would love to have it back, but just probably the worst I've ever felt in my life.
Well, I didn't feel sorry for you at all until I realised you and Curdy both got like ridiculously sick for the next week and a half.
Yeah.
So there must have been something. I don't know what you did to do that to yourself.
No, I don't know. I might have caught it from someone on a dance floor or something.
Probably lifting too many cheesies or drinking too many random people's beer.
Yeah, that was probably it. Poor Curdy caught it as well, but shouldn't have kissed you.
While you were sleeping as well, he did that. Slipped some tongue in.
just once, or all right. So podium. Marc Marquez takes his third win.
Is this a bad time to say I'm HIV positive?
I did not expect you to say that.
So Marc Marquez wins. Jorge
What the fuck is going on?
Martin.
He's got the yips. He's got the yips.
And Pecco Bagnaia third.
So what are we talking about? Phillip Island. Marquez win.
Marquez wins.
Martin second, you say?
Martin second.
What has Jorge Martin done to you? I've never seen anything like it.
Far
And
out.
Bagnaia third.
And Bagnaia third.
Bro,
yeah.
what a race, actually, because Marquez, it was a famous tear-off incident.
It was.
Came from about, 14th,
14th.
15th on the
Yep.
amazing first lap.
Amazing first lap. He did one of the best races I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Best races I've ever seen. And him coming back must have just... imagine if he went in the first of the first lap. He wouldn't have won by 20 seconds.
Or, you know what? Typical Marquez
He would've
fashion
crashed.
at Phillip
Yep.
Island, he would have crashed.
Yep.
But it's just crazy, you know. He gets passes all these people in the first few laps. He has to stick behind people when there's no aero issues.
That's it.
You know.
So we head to the Chang International Circuit in Birmingham. We'll be there in a few months.
Yeah,
by
we're
the
going
way.
to talk about that because I don't think any of our fans know that we're going.
Yeah, well, Danby wants to keep it private. Doesn't want anyone else. He wants to be number one fan. He's just trying to...
Dammy's going to do more than be number one fan.
Yeah, he
He's gonna start
does.
editing
He
and
does.
shit for us.
he does. He does.
He's going to buy a computer for that first bar. Bro. I've seen him use his phone.
Like these ones?
Love you, Danby.
Yeah, love you, Danby. All right, so Bagnaia first, Martin second, and Pedro Acosta in third.
Yeah. Well, remember, Costa was up there in Japan.
Well, he had a lot of crashes.
Yeah,
he
and
crashed
rookie,
a lot.
man,
Yeah, exactly. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, Bastianini won the sprint race, I remember, and then from there, it was just a Pecco show, and we saw that throughout the year.
You know, again, that's where the championship was like fever pitch.
Oh my god, yeah,
it was fever pitch at this point.
All right, so the Sepang International Circuit, Bagnaia wins again. Jorge Martin finishes second again, and Hideki Bastianini finishes third.
Yeah, but this is where it all changed.
This is where it changed, Jim.
The sprint race.
Sprint race.
Now, was it the same? Was it the same corner as Chandra?
Well,
Igura, sorry.
yeah, it was. So Bagnaia started from pole, and then he crashed on that short little hairpin behind the circuit, and that's the turning point. That is the turning point of the championship. That was the turning
point of the championship because it blew it out to I think 25 points.
Yep.
And then there was only a couple races left, and then it's like. From then, we said, all right, Pecco Bagnaia has to make the move, has to be super aggressive.
Yep.
And he did become a little bit more, but Martin just had the number of finishing, either winning.
Do you remember
it
that
or
race,
getting
though?
second. I remember the race. When Bagnaia went down, I really couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
So he went down in the sprint race.
The sprint race,
and then the main race, remember Martin and Bagnaia going at it.
Yeah,
We've never seen anything like it.
They did.
It was
amazing.
unbelievable. That was a really, really good race. Really interesting. And speaking of Danby, he was there at that race.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Eyes darting.
Yeah, eyes darting, not going. Go. But the two title contenders, they just swapped the lead. The lead.
It was an amazing
multiple times, and then Bagnaia just built the gap, took the win.
But again, that's what he had to do, and Bagnaia had to cut his leg off, had to get past him, had to win. But then Jorge Martin, mature enough to go, all right, I'm going to take the 20 points.
Yep.
I've got one hand on this title. And we were thinking at this point, Gavin Emmett thought at this point that what's Ducati going to do? That what's the nuclear code? What's the nuclear code for factory
the switch,
Ducati to win?
The DG Gelinia switch, we called it.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yep.
We're waiting the whole time.
And to their credit, nothing happened.
But if they did something, that would have been a massive conspiracy.
It was too far.
Everyone would know it.
Everyone would know it was too far. So this sets up a final race showdown, 24-point advantage to Martin into the final Grand Prix weekend.
And there's 35 points on offer for a weekend, so it was slim.
37.
Sorry, 12-point victory in sprint.
37.
37.
So it's all to play for still. But as we saw all year, Bagnaia came out, won the sprint.
Had to.
Won the main race.
Had to.
Martin, to his credit, finished third.
And then, he had to go through Bastianini trying to bump up the pack.
And then he had his wingman, Aleix Espargaro, there the whole time, which is a feel-good memory for me at the end of the year. And all the Ducati faithful and the Italian fans, obviously. Quick to forget that Bastianini was holding up a lot of the pack.
Crazy. I don't know how they just
And then they came in on the Monday morning. Nah. Bad sportsmanship, Aleix Espargaro. Fascinating. Fascinating how their heads work. Different content.
Turning very blindly to that. So ridiculous.
But congratulations to Jorge Martin on a fantastic victory and championship. And will we see that ever again, an independent team winning the championship?
You are our Motorsport Republica MotoGP world champion.
Almost performance of the year. We'll announce that at our Christmas special next week.
Yeah.
So, incredible for him and an incredible year. So so up and down. But realistically, Martin did a lot of the year in the head and consistent, and that was the big difference between 23 and 22. So amazing.
Love it. It's huge. Very, very... just to see a private team win it. Obviously factory backed, but it's just... I don't know if we're ever going to see that again, and I'm so surprised we saw that now. But the lineup of talent in Ducati, besides Franco Morbidelli, was immense.
Do you think that that Martin winning that championship for Pramac is why they're not on Ducatis next year?
They've been there and done that. Look, there has to be a good reason for it, possibly. Because I really don't understand it to a degree. There has to be money that lies in it. like there has to be money that lies in it as well. Maybe more support from the factory. Maybe because Ducati's downgrading, there's concessions, obviously, that they can't take, they can't utilise. It's probably something along those lines.
It's interesting.
Maybe gearing into 2027, they want something different.
It's almost like Ducati has allowed this team to get so good and so big. They're like, well, we want you as an independent team and using our bikes, but we don't want you winning championships.
They might want VR46 as well as their team. But remember, it's only going down to one factory bike as well for their independent team.
Exactly right. What's next, Jimmy boy?
So we've got our 2024 predictions, our who we thought was going to win the title.
Yep.
So we'll start with Daniel. Daniel did Pecco Bagnaia first, Jorge Martin second, Ania Bastianini third, Brad Binder fourth, and Marco Bezzecchi fifth.
All right, so how does that compare? Jorge Martin finishing first, Bagnaia second, Marc Marquez third, Bastianini fourth, Brad Binder fifth.
Brad Binder ended up getting fifth after all that.
He did, yeah.
Wild, isn't it?
He just peeped Acosta, but it just shows consistency as well. But yeah, kudos to Daniel putting Binder in there.
Yeah, true. He got him fourth. It's like this doesn't seem right. Bezzecchi did nothing, and no Marc Marquez. Maybe the Italian bias there. Tom, you had Marc Marquez first, Jorge Martin second, Pecco Bagnaia third, so you had him ahead of Bagnaia.
Well, I had
Martin.
I had the box trifecta.
Yeah, you did. Ania Bastianini fourth.
Oh, well, box first four.
And then this is where it all fell apart. Miguel Oliveira fifth, which just dismantles all your reasoning.
Unfortunately, Miguel finishing 15th. I was 10 off.
Yeah. And I had a guy at World Superbikes almost want to hit me saying that Miguel Oliveira was going to be bottom 5.
Well, he wasn't bottom 5, but he was freaking close. He was, out of all the riders who competed all year, he was bottom 7.
Fuck.
So you were right. And kudos to you. That was a great call. That was a crystal moment call from James Superbike Shaw.
All right. I don't remember making these at all. And I look back on it and it's terrible.
Well, I was probably the closest first 4 boxed.
Yeah, 100%. Marc Marquez first. Jorge Martin second. Pecco Bagnaia third. Brad Binder fourth. Marco Bezzecchi fifth. So he let me down as well.
And no Bastianini in there.
No Bastianini, which is a weird thing. But I don't know why I didn't pick Bastianini on a factory bike. But I guess back then we didn't know how big the gap was going to be.
Yeah. And shout out to It's Called Par as well. He did our results for the whole year.
Yeah.
We'll be unveiling our number 1 fan next week, and he's got to be right up there. So for that help, I really appreciate it.
Yep, 100%.
But yeah, predictions, it was hard. I mean, I remember the start of the year, we were talking to all these famous riders, and everyone's like, Marquez dominated. And the same thing's happening to next year. Marquez is going to go on that 25 and dominate. He's going to dominate. He's going to win every race, which we just didn't see. So,
well, in MotoGP, bloody race winners and riders are saying it. But I think what we all underestimated is how it really showed me how big an electronics aero package is.
Yep.
And he still needs to get you MotoGP's changed so much where you can't it doesn't seem like you can jump on a bike and then just win on a new manufacturer, which is scary for Jorge Martin because that's exactly what he's doing.
Yep, 100%. The world's changed in that aspect, 100%.
And they're he wasn't on a factory bike. He had a bike from the start of 2024. So what he's done has been an amazing effort as it is. Love him or hate him, we try our best to stay mutual on the show, but he did it.
We?
Yeah, we try.
I don't know about that.
I don't in F1. Curtis?
If Jorge Martin, the mechanics on that bike and that bike are one, it's going to be absolute domination.
If they're one, as if they dial in the package.
As if every race it's just consistency and Jorge Martin can just ring that thing out.
So the thing is, Curdy, it seems like with a factory winning project is you need more than just a rider and your team. You almost need your teammate to be developed just as well and be just as fast. Because if your teammate's just, say, finishing 15th every race, he's not quick enough to help develop that bike. And then you're only going one direction, which might work for Marc Marquez for so long, but it doesn't work in the long run. So you also need your team to be up there. And you might even need your privateer team up there like Pramac was for Ducati.
I reckon Jorge Martin's just going to bring that knowledge over.
Well, look, I hope so. I think I may be bringing a crew chief as well. I'm not 100% sure.
Mate, if they're all just one.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, we all want to see it. We all
want
to see it.
that.
Would you rather see the Aprilia win over the Ducati? I know you're a big Ducati fan. Cody.
I'm a big Ducati fan. I wouldn't mind seeing that competition really go at it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more enjoyable when there's competition.
100%.
You get to see a lot more spectacular results.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with
And
that.
I hope he does really. I hope he does awesome. And if he goes back to back, and this is for our preview show, but it'd be incredible. But it's hard to tell. Like we're not gonna. Who knows, man?
Yeah.
I just after what Marquez did, he's obviously wasn't on a factory bike, but for me, Marquez is still the barometer.
Oh, well, Marquez has no excuses next year. I mean,
There's no excuses.
We'll cover this in our preview show, of course. But
Otherwise, we're going massive tangent.
yeah, exactly right. But yeah, interesting. Like we really going back to our predictions. We had Marquez. I had Marquez, winning the championship, and I had Bagnaia dropping off. And to a certain extent, he did. He did drop off.
Well, we had, me and you, had Jorge Martin ahead of Bagnaia.
Yeah,
which
we
is
did.
Still a bold call.
Yeah, true, 100%. And you boys had Brad Binder up there.
Yeah.
Oliveira was a bit of a hope and hit and hope sort of situation.
He's not fraud level, but a lot of people, he's promised a lot of big things and he's had some race wins, but what happened to Miguel this year? Is it the bike?
Well, he's injured. He was injured, but he had no excuses that second half of the year.
He had a factory Aprilia.
He did. And, he's going to be on a Pramac Yamaha next year, so he's not going to go to any better bike.
No, that's right.
So if he really needs to show something, but hopefully he just has an injury-free start of the year, and I think that's so important for these guys. Like, it's almost like having a pre-season for AFL footballer.
Yeah.
Doing the testing, figuring out what's good and bad on the bike. Being ride fit. Like, it's just so important. There's so much goes into it. It's just so important to have that steady ship.
One of my big disappointments really for this year, though, was as a manufacturer level was KTM. Like, obviously, Brad Binder...
3 podiums, no race win.
Had that false promise, I guess, in the first round. But, man, they've been in Grand Prix racing now for almost 10 years, and they haven't really done anything to note.
No, they haven't. They've a few race wins. But it was interesting. There was races there. It was consistent that Binder and Miller were like 15th, 16th.
Wow. But then you got a younger
finishing 5th. And everyone complains he's crashing, but his teammates are 10 places behind him. Like, you might as well go for it.
And Augusto Fernandez is last.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean... hopefully we see some sort of change in their financial woes going forward. Hopefully they follow our 10-point plan on Patreon. That'd be nice. So, but we'll wait and see. We all want KTM to be up there. We all want Aprilia to be up there because it makes it so much more exciting. Yeah. And for us, yes, it's still going to be an exciting race, but then you get like a Vinales popping up and winning a race. Awesome. Love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that was like F1 this year. It was so cool because you had 5 guys going to the race weekend not knowing who was going to win.
More unpredictable, that.
Way more unpredictable. Crazy.
You know what, though? We've done all these results, Tom, and there's been no mention of Repsol Honda.
No. Dirty word. Dirty word.
Not even a word anymore. Repsol
just
Honda.
Honda. Just talk about Honda.
It's it's crazy, man.
Have we announced, which we'll talk about in our review show, but title sponsors for next year? Castrol, I believe. Castrol Honda is going to be the title sponsor of. I bet you they'll still be called Repsol Honda by a few people.
Oh man, I'll still be like, it would just be weird to not see it
forever.
But what a way to go out, and it sucks, man. It's just strange to see.
It is strange to see, and it's I mean, they were just from a world of hurt this year. They just they did nothing. There was nothing. Like Zarco popped up a couple of top 10s.
He was the only man.
He was the only man who did anything.
He was making Honda great again.
And we joke about Mir and Marini just like losing the front end for fun, like
But
all the year.
We were talking. One of our predictions was, okay, Honda. We thought they were going to develop. We unanimously thought they were going to develop better than Yamaha. They didn't.
No.
And if anything, we didn't see any development.
No.
The bike did change. And actually, to be fair, I should say, there was development. The bike did get quicker. Zarco just found the speed. They did make progression on the bike, but they're not. Obviously, it wasn't fast enough, but Zarco was the only one that could find it. And that tells me that he's really, really good at developing a bike, and he's been used to it with Pramac Ducati. He's brought all that knowledge over from Ducati as well. So there is a little bit of light there, but it's all at the moment Zarco.
Yeah,
Honda. It ain't coming from Nakagami or Chantra, and it ain't coming from the Repsol Honda boys, unfortunately. But they need to pull their finger out. And I really do think the Honda riders are doing everything they can. It's just
I don't know, man. I think you're being too fair on that.
I just think it's the way Japan, like, they talk about it a lot. Like Krafer, all the technicians, they talk about Ducati will just. They'll test a part. They'll go, okay, does it work?
Yeah.
Let's just bolt it on for a Grand Prix. Where Japan, they develop it. They test.
It's so conservative.
It's too slow.
Yeah.
It might have worked 10 years ago, but it doesn't work now.
No, not with these new developments in aero.
So I really do think it's an HRC thing.
But it's not going to click overnight either.
It's going to take years, man.
Yeah.
Look at KTM. They still haven't got it right. They've had a massive budget. A budget so bad that they've actually paralyzed the whole KTM firm. And then they're not even paying their staff over December for Krumah.
I know. It's and watch our Patreon episode because we go through all that.
Yeah.
And they owe $80 million to staff or something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, out of the $3 billion...
80 million is already so much money, though.
I know.
Like, that's already, like, I can't fathom that.
If we had 80 million, we could enter the Grand Prix and have, like, and do 3 seasons in MotoGP.
Yeah, you'd see us on a yacht at Monaco. I would, like, stop exercising.
No.
I'd go fat. I'll turn into, like, a fat Russian oligarch. That's
No, what
I'd
I'm
do.
actually saying is, like, we enter in a team. We have a
actually
team.
race.
For 80 million, I reckon you can have 3 seasons of MotoGP for 80 million. 80 million's a lot of money.
And we race?
And we race, yeah. Cheeseburger shav on the back of a bloody... We'll get KTMs because we'll pay them.
They'll take whatever they can get.
We'll pay them like 20 mil so they can pay off their debt.
Yeah.
And then we'll run the Tech 3 team or something. Perfect.
Yeah. Republica Racing.
Is there a 107% rule in
No,
MotoGP?
yeah, there would be. We'd be fucked. We wouldn't get out of halfway through FP1.
They'll be like, we'll go with like the loudspeakers. Number 23, number 21, please return to the pit lane.
The Alpine Stars tech will go, 58, size 58, leather suit. I was saying that. He goes, bring in the extra kangaroos.
Oh my god! Imagine getting fitted up. There'd be like 6 fucking men trying to get the suit on.
Little Italian man.
Breathe in, breathe out.
It wouldn't be the getting on; it'd be the getting off. Now, there'd be a whole.
There'll be the pool of sweat as well.
Oh, bro! Imagine you were like Buram.
It would fill up. It would fill up. It'd be up to here.
Yeah, you'd be cooked.
There'd be a New Zealand team that was like champions for fucking tug of war, and there'd be fucking one side trying to pull it off while
Big
you're on the other
Maoris.
side trying to get pulled out.
That's hilarious, man.
That is hilarious. All right, Jimmy. Next.
Well, we can probably do better than KTM at the moment. We won't blow our money like them.
No, fuck no.
Maybe on just bloody other stuff. Now, this is an interesting one. So 2024 was the year we didn't know what was... It seems like the past few years.
Yep.
We haven't known where riders are going. It's been so up in the air. So we did during the year, and it's a little bit off because we didn't know where Pramac was going. There was even teams.
Yeah, true. And we had that in our description that if they stay Ducati,
Yeah.
so there's a bit of an asterisk there.
There is an asterisk. So we went through our 2025 grid predictions, which I love that we did this.
Yes.
We got a really good response out of
Yeah,
this.
we'll do that again for the following year. But this was the silliest of silly seasons.
Yeah, I think everyone's got like 2-year deals and shit now, so it's probably a bit harder. But anyway, we'll go through it. All right, Daniel Brisciali.
I'll go through. Just give me a sec. I'll tell you what they actually are.
Oh yeah, get that going.
Not that we should know. We should know that already.
Yeah, yeah.
Better photo than that. What do you reckon, eh? Chich?
Sounds like some dude just did it on Canva. What's going on out there, Curdy? Is it windy?
Rainstorms coming.
Is it?
Coming later tonight.
It's bushfire season, mate. There's for our international listeners, it was 40 degrees in Melbourne today, and there's been bushfires in Melbourne, and we're scarred from bushfires around here.
Oh, yeah, God, yeah.
So everyone gets on like high alert. But it must be windy as because this joint's making a fucking noise.
Normally when it gets really hot in Australia, there's normally strong wind afterwards and then rain.
True.
Hard, heavy rain.
I'll give you hard and heavy in a minute.
Oh.
All right, Jimmy, start off. Ducati, Lenovo.
All right, so Ducati, Lenovo will go by team. So Daniel had Pecco Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini. Tom, you had Pecco Bagnaia and Enea Bastianini. I had Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin. So none of us picked Marc Marquez.
No one saw that coming at that point in the year. No one saw that coming. So, yeah, obviously Bagnaia and Marquez will be riding the Ducati Lenovo Desmo Medici GP25.
Would you say I was the closest out of all that? Yeah, you have to. Bagnaia and Jorge Martin.
Yeah, 50-50.
Koozie. Repsol Honda, now known as Castrol Honda. Juan Mir, Luca Marini, Juan Mir, Luca Marini, Juan Mir, Luca Marini. Which is actually amazing why we picked them. Unless you already signed, because Juan Mir...
No, I think we just picked them. We didn't... I think they...
Because Juan Mir signed a 2-year contract and we were shook.
Yeah, we were
That he re-signed.
That's true, we were.
All right. So we got that right. Aprilia.
Yep.
Daniel, Jorge Martin, Maverick Vinales.
Wow, good pick from Daniel.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah.
Tom, Jorge Martin and Maverick Vinales.
Wow.
James, Enea Bastianini and Maverick Vinales. Royally butchered that one.
Yeah, interesting.
Enea Bastianini should have signed with him. And then we all thought Mav was going to stay.
Yeah, we all thought Mav was going to stay. That was a real shock when we signed for the second-rate KTM team, which
same
was
with Bastianini.
I know, really, really interesting.
Wild. Monster Energy, Yamaha, Daniel, Fabio Quartararo, and Alex Rins. Tom, Quartararo, and Rins, and myself, Quartararo and Rins. Easy peasy. There, 20 million in the bank for Fabio. Thanks for coming.
Cash it in, baby.
All right, now the financially ruined factory KTM, Daniel, Pedro Acosta, and Brad Binder, because Brad already had a contract. Tom, Pedro, and Brad, and myself, Pedro Acosta and Marc Marquez.
Oh, did you do that? Did ya?
I thought Red Bull was going to take him. I thought that was it. Lucky he didn't.
Where did you have Brad Binder on the thing?
We demoted him to
Moto 2.
No, you'll find out when we go
Sorry, of
go
course.
through.
Oh yeah, that was of course. I'll let it play out. I do apologise.
All right, so this is Pramac Ducati we had.
Yep.
Marco Bezzecchi for Daniel and Marc Marquez if Pramac stays Ducati. So that's going on to 2 factory bikes is what we thought.
Yep.
Tom, you had Digia and Fermin Aldeguer.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad. Digia... Well, Digia is now on VR46, which is the equivalent.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I'll give you that.
And Aldeguer had
I'll give you the chockies. Marco Bezzecchi finally released from the shackles of... he's a cuck.
Bro, we had this conversation in the car. La Familia. Hard to break them up.
Yeah.
You know?
To their detriment.
It is.
What did I say? Pramac Ducati, Marco Bezzecchi, and Fermin Aldeguer as well. All right. Daniel for VR46, Thomas Love. Fabio Digia and Fermin Aldeguer.
Okay.
Tom, you had Bezzecchi staying and VR46 and Franco Morbidelli.
Oh, I had Franco Morbidelli.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Yep. And I had Digia and Franco Morbidelli.
Well done. You picked it.
Yep. Gas Tech 3.
Well, we got this wrong.
Daniel had Celestino Vietti and Jack Miller. Tom, you had Jack Miller and Augusto Fernandez. And I had Brad Binder and Jack Miller.
Wow.
Both demoting. What a terrible call. We all just butchered that.
But you know what? That actually might have happened, though. Realistically, they were demoted, but they were still a factory team next year.
Well, that's right. That was my logic.
Yeah. I'll see where you're coming from for that one.
All right, Grassini, Ducati, Alex Marquez, and Tony Arbolino for Daniel. Tom, you had Alex Marquez and Marc Marquez staying.
Yeah, okay.
Thought process?
Well, I thought they'd give him a 25 bike.
Okay.
That's what I thought. So, but yeah, he chased the factory spot, which I never thought could happen.
And myself, Alex Marquez and Alonso Lopez. Honda LCR, Johan, Zarco, and Igura for 2025 for Daniel.
Oh, okay.
Zarco and Igura for yourself for 2025.
Yep.
And I had Zarco and Igura. Well, fuck, who would have thought the Japanese rider was going to break the shackles of LCR?
And I didn't see, I know like they're an
Honda
Asian
teenager.
team, but like I always saw them signing a Japanese rider. So Chantra for me just was not on the radar.
Yeah, I guess it's just Asian now. Trackhouse Racing, Tom, Daniel, Miguel Oliveira and Joe Roberts. Tom, Miguel Oliveira and Joe Roberts. And myself, Miguel Oliveira and Joe Roberts.
No way. We all picked the same.
Yep.
Well, that was the thing because the Trackhouse was the American team.
Yeah,
so.
that's what we thought.
That's it.
Yep.
Well, we butchered that terribly.
Yeah.
We probably got 3 out of the 12 teams.
Yeah.
But who would have thought? I mean, I think the riders going to that Tech 3 KDM outfit, which we didn't think would happen. The riders of that caliber as well, Vinales and Bastianini, which was the biggest surprise.
I think Bastianini signed too quickly with Tech 3. I should have waited out for Aprilia. And I think Aprilia came out saying they would have fucking really looked at signing him.
Yeah,
as well.
but they've got a better rider in Bastianini. Sorry, they've got a better rider in Jorge Martin.
Yeah,
well.
what about Bez?
Yeah, well.
Who would you rather take, Bastianini or Bezecchi?
Well, that's true. Yeah. But Bezecchi has shown signs, but he's like the Jorge Lorenzo where everything has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Obviously. And can't sort of I don't know, adapt to the conditions. Is that a fair assumption? Yeah. So as soon as there's some adverse conditions, he's or the bike's not to his perfect favor. Like he said, there was some front end shatter, I believe, or rear end shatter on that GP23. I just couldn't adapt to it. So
Yeah. It's going to be a wild 2025 of him on Aprilia, that's for sure.
Wow, man.
Wild. All right. Hot takes?
Yep, let's do it.
What do we got here? So, I had to color code these. It's Cold Papa.
Legend.
If you guys could replace 5 riders in the MotoGP grid for Moto2 riders, who would they be?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Dennis Onchu.
Yeah.
I think he's got real potential. I'd love to, but not that I would put him in. I'm not going to replace him though. Like that's the hard thing.
Yeah.
There's not 5 riders in Moto2 that I would replace with 5 riders in MotoGP. There's not any better talent there. Obviously, would love to see Senna Agius up there. Would love to see a Lopez. I think he'd be really interesting going up as well.
Agree.
Tony Arbolino, Cheeseburger Arbolino. Definitely not. He's a cool cat. Really cool cat. And for me, I don't know, Aaron Canet.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, I think we both agree on those 5 answers, James.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that I'm...
Sergio Garcia probably needs 1 more year, but I'd like to see him.
Don't rush them through either. I think that's the other thing. Can't rush them too quickly. I think that's what's going to happen to Aldeguer, just getting rushed through. So we'll see.
Really rushed through.
Really rushed through. Maybe 1 more year in Moto2. He should have really... and he might have had a different season this year without the pressure to a certain extent.
Good call.
Or lack of pressure, James. Lack of pressure. Is that the problem that he had? He signed early. He didn't have to do anything this year. Did it change his mindset?
But then do you think as well, like, oh, I've signed, like, I want to prove my worth?
Well, that's a normal...
Because he's under the microscope.
I know, but, like, these European kids, Spanish kids, you know, with the arrogance they've got, they might think differently. They're not like us battling Aussies down here
Yeah, that's true. We are.
in the 43-degree heat of Benzina stables, you know what I'm
Doing
saying?
back-to-back pods. Like a
dog.
like a doctor.
Like a dog. Yes.
Great quote of Joey Diaz. Katie will understand that. Stop listening to your...
Anime fuck tie.
At Pegasus dots, I'm so sorry I can't pronounce this. Serjan Ringtias. Toprak will be world champion on the MotoGP bike given time, Tom.
Well, that's someone we'd love to see in MotoGP. The only problem is with Toprak, if he leaves Superbikes, they've got really nothing left. So they need him at Superbikes, and I think whoever's running that organisation needs to get him paid a lot of money because he would be the only reason I would flick on a Sunday night to watch a superbike race in what's that track that we like with the
Most. The
Most.
nuclear power plant.
the nuclear power plant. So,
We need Toprak in MotoGP. He's a G.
yeah, he's a G.
He's an absolute G. All right, 13_Big Mac, Big Daddy. Pecco or Marc will win because of the Ducati's domination. No one else stands a chance. Going against you, Curdy. Aprilia won't win, mate.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see it, but I do agree. I think this MY25 bike, GP25 bike, call it, is just going to absolutely dominate. And I think that's what all have heard in the media coming out. But we'll see. We'll wait and see. What do you think?
No, I think it's going to be closer next year.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be closer. I said that about this year.
Yeah.
But I'm an ultimate optimist, and I think it's going to be closer. But you just got two incredible talents on that factory Ducati. So, and then the problem is you got KTM, who's who knows what's going on with them.
Yeah.
That's our boy Nicky D3604. Who will be, this leads onto it, who will be the second best MotoGP bike in 2025? I think KTM will be too crippled to beat Aprilia. Great call. Great hot take.
That's a really interesting... Yeah, I think so. I think KTM are going to be really crippled. And the other thing is...
You got the reigning world champion on the Aprilia.
You got the reigning world champion on the Aprilia. But will we see... I mean, to be honest with you, I don't even see Aprilia winning a race next year.
Wow, that's a massive call.
I don't see them winning a race next year. I just don't see it. I just don't see where it will happen. I just don't see it happening. But
Jorge Martin's going to win a title. Win a title.
Wow.
He's going to win a race.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
He's on a factory Aprilia. Maverick Vinales did it.
I think Ducati is going to clean sweep next year and win every single race.
Every single race. When was the last time that's been done?
Probably Honda in 2003.
I think Yamaha may have pinched one. Yeah.
Yeah.
_Mel Bond. KTM needs Honda's financial team and Honda needs KTM's technical team. It's a good trade-off.
Yeah, done. Do it.
That's a little bit of our sneak peek into our top 10.
Yeah. I think that's a great call. And there's many. You need Japanese as conservativeness for the spending, as we talked about in the top 10.
Yeah.
You need the intelligence of the aero team from Italy, because they seem
you
to
need
be
the ballsy designs.
the ballsy designs. And then you need the money from the Saudi Arabians or something.
Yeah, you need something. You're going to dig up some gold in Austria. There'll be plenty buried around there.
But I think as a whole, the MotoGP team of KTM will be fine. It's the whole business that's the issue.
Well, they just got rid of MV, didn't they?
They did, yes. We called that. We called that early.
Well, you got a massive disdain for MV Augusta. You said they're bringing down KTM.
The bringing down KTM was the reason why they're $3 billion in the hole, because bikes don't sell. Why would you buy a business that had a massive debt against it? They had to pay the debt out. Didn't we confirm that, Curdy?
Yeah, we did.
2 months after. No, we didn't. We confirmed that, didn't we, Curtis? Yes.
I think it was 2017. Someone bought it out and spent $107 million in debt.
That's a
that was
MotoGP
in 2017. And then, they've required them, 2022? And then, probably sorted out their debts as well.
Yeah, they bought it in, I think it was November 22, and then they had to pay their debts out by January 23. So that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, someone at KTM was cooking something, and they went off the fucking rails.
Yeah. Well, watch our Patreon for that one, guys.
Yeah, I got some good points in that. All right, audio hot takes. Let's go. This is some of the best stuff here.
G'day guys. Rwanda F1 bid. Exciting
Oh
times.
no, wrong one. Sorry.
Couple quick points. I'll try to keep
At
it
Jason Silva.
First off, Pedro Acosta is the new Marc Marquez if he gets on a Ducati. We will almost forget about everybody else. If he gets on a Duck, everybody else is screwed.
Duck.
Second point, with all these rule changes coming up, and KTM doesn't have any money, and Suzuki's not there, and Kawasaki's not there, should we look back at the CRT rules for just everything, making MotoGP Frankenstein-style frames, chassis, bodywork, all that good stuff, but having production-style motors, whenever new thousands make 200 horsepower, give or take, it might be something for us to look at that might get some more manufacturers interested. Thanks again, guys.
I don't see that as
on you, Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. All the way from Ohio. I don't see that as an issue. For me, it doesn't make it. It's not like how it used to be, where there used to be one team that dominated. Yeah. We still have 3 Ducati teams, and I think the interesting part is, yes, we're going to see a little bit of Aprilia, a little bit of KTM, but the CRT rules did not work, and they've tried that again.
Didn't work, and yes, having the like those production engines are quick, but going up against the electronics, the aero development.
Yep. Just bringing something up. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't... for me, the other thing is CRT rules, like, you don't need 2 different... Like, they got enough bikes on the grid. So they got enough bikes for the grid for me. So I really don't see that as an option. And I don't think I'd like to see that anyway. But...
You'd rather put your time and energy into bringing BMW or Suzuki back.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Next one, Jimmy.
All right, next one is at Willie Nels.
Sick. Boys,
hey,
2026, 5-year deal, great for the sport. Passion, all that sort of stuff. Senna, we love him. I presume you guys are going. I know Martin's already booked his flight. India and Kazakhstan, they're probably going to be a bit salty. Speaking of salty, will they name the food court after Barros? Don't know.
That was good. That was good on you, Willie. That's a true fan who gets all the dumb inside jokes right there. But yeah, what do you think of Brazil?
I like the track. I looked at it a little bit over the weekend. I really like the track. I thought it was going to be Interlagos because we were having that chat last week, and I'm thinking to myself, well, how's it going to be Interlagos with that massive concrete barrier on that last corner? But you told me they've been there before.
To this track?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, you said they've been there before in I believe 03-04 season.
They've gone to Brazil. I don't know about that track.
Yeah, okay.
They've definitely gone to Brazil, I think 1999 to 2004.
Gotcha. Right.
I believe 2004, 2005.
Yep. Oh, I think Brazil, the fans are passionate. I'm really excited for that one.
Good demographic to go to.
Great demographic.
What's it paying that someone's going to do a Senna helmet tribute?
I thought you were going to say someone was going to get burgled on the way to the hotel or something. Senna, 100%. It has to be.
$1.01.
But isn't it amazing that Senna helmet is just... I mean, we have one here. Like, Lukey Luke's a bike rider, but he loves Senna and he's got the Senna helmet.
Yeah. It's iconic.
Iconic, and it's probably the most iconic helmet in the world.
Yeah, in history, definitely.
But you know what? Simple tracks is fine for me. I don't mind a simple track. And that's like...
Simple tracks can work.
Yeah, they work fine
as long as the racing's good.
As long as the racing's good, and as long as exactly right, 100%. Sometimes a really long track for MotoGP, like for Coda, like it's a 2-minute track. It's a long, and it sort of spoils qualifying a little bit. So, my hot take.
I like it. At Balady Me.
Sup, boys? Me again. As fans of both F1 and MotoGP, which of the 2 years were the worst to watch, or the ones that made you feel like this is not gonna end well at the end? Was it 2015 MotoGP season or the 2021 F1 season? I ask because today is the 3-year anniversary of the famous 2021 championship. And as a fan of both Valentino Rossi and Lewis Hamilton, they both hurt very much. So I just wanted to ask that.
Well, I've gone on record on this podcast to say that day in history, 2021, was up there with the best days of my life.
Yeah, I think you said that last
And
week.
it's not because of the controversy. It was controversial what happened, but Verstappen that year deserved the championship. He deserved it. There was incidents in Silverstone when Hamilton knocked him off, won the race, 25 points. There's 25 points right there. A couple of incidents in Saudi Arabia. Yes, Max got desperate, but you have to if you want to win a championship. Max Verstappen deserved that championship, and Hamilton had his time. He won 6 or 5, so he had his time. 2015, Valentino Rossi, very disappointing on how that finished, and very unfair to be sent to the back of the grid.
Yeah.
As well, and I think everyone agrees with that because it spoiled it for us for that final race, and we never know what could have happened. So that's my feeling anyway.
Yeah. Do you think Marquez deserves the hate?
Marquez doesn't deserve the hate.
Do you think Marc Marquez, this is a conspiracy, I can't move back to this, conspired with Jorge Lorenzo for Jorge to win a title?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though they didn't like each other?
No, I think there was some sort of like
a Spanish mafia?
Spanish mafia involved, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, who says they don't like each other?
Well, Marquez punted him off at Jerez, and they weren't fans.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think Marquez liked Rossi. I don't think he didn't like.
He loved Rossi.
Yeah, but not before that. I think there was always tension before that anyway, wasn't there?
There was only tension from Phillip Islands. That was only a week before. So it was only a week. There was tension because they had a couple comings together at Assen in Argentina.
Yeah.
But there was nothing like what it was building up to it.
Interesting.
And that was kind of 1-1 before that. Anyway.
It's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's going to go down in folklore and we'll keep talking about it.
10-year anniversary.
Mate, that's MotoGP 2024.
Yeah, it's wrapped
Done
up.
and dusted.
They're wrapped up. Well, that was amazing, James. Thank you so much. And it was interesting going through the different results.
Yeah.
And I'm so looking forward to next year. So
What a crazy, crazy, crazy year. It's going to be very exciting for next year, but it was a lot of fun. It's at least with MotoGP, it's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, well, we got all of January. We're going to have stuff coming out with MotoGP. Testing will be in Feb. We're going to head to Thailand in February.
Talk to us about that. What's going on?
So heading to Thailand on the 27th of Feb. We'll be in Bangkok for a night, then straight to Buriram. Buriram is 8-hour drive from Bangkok, so it is in the middle of nowhere.
Jesus.
But we've got a nice, beautiful hotel we're staying at. We're going to do a couple of podcasts out of there.
Yep. Bring out the Bintang singlet.
Oh, it'll be hot. But you know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fun. It's going to be so exciting. Be catching up with some of the boys as well.
Dangerous day to be a beer.
Dangerous day to be a beer. Dangerous day to be a Chang. But I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be one of the highlights. And so the next time we will be talking, our first round will be at the actual race. So really looking forward to that.
Shit, true.
Yep. So super excited.
Huge.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.